So I have my Bauer angle grinder with a 5 amp hour battery, and I have this little chainsaw looking deal. And I'm gonna try to carve this piece of wood. I'm trying to make some bunny bowls, wooden bunny bowls, and I'm gonna try to carve this up a little bit. I cut this with the bandsaw, which I'll have to show you guys if you haven't seen already, and a one-handed reciprocating saw. But I'm gonna take a whack at it with this thing, and if this thing is too much for it, I may end up going with a flap disc instead. These chainsaw attachments come in 3 different pieces that come apart. You basically have to line them back up every time you want to use it. I put this extension on my wrench just to make it a little bit easier to change these blades on the grinder, because hands get so close in there sometimes you're asking for a skin knuckle. I'm gonna draw a couple circles on my bunny bowl, and they'll be chewed away by sandpaper or something else by the time we're done. And what I'm concerned is this wood is still a little bit damp. It's timber I had milled for me by a friend of mine. My friend made me, it's like 8 pieces of 12 by 3 by 10 foot long, and I just think it's still a little bit damp. You guys who are more timber experts can weigh in on that. I'm pretty sure I'm doing it wrong. I don't know the right way, but I'm pretty sure I'm doing it the wrong way. I'm pretty sure that when you're doing tasks like this, it is going to be imperative that the grinder is a powered grinder with a cord, not a battery grinder, because I just chewed through a 5 amp hour battery and it really wasn't a whole lot of work. So just keep that in mind. You probably want to have that corded grinder on hand to do stuff like this. I'm going to use a drill press to drill some holes all the way around this interior part where the bowl section of the rabbit's going to be. I'm going to use this, I think it's 1 3/8. I just got these from Harbor Freight. These are Hercules brand, so I hope they are pretty good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to calculate so it comes down to around probably right about here or so, leaving like 1/2 inch at the bottom, so I don't go too far. But I can set that on the drill press here and make sure that even this ancient drill press here, and yeah, she's ancient, all right. It's set on low speed. It's a Daytona DB5 up to a 5/8 inch chuck, and spindle is JT3. 5-speed drill press, made in Taiwan. So I am an idiot. I don't know a whole lot about wood, evidently. And that's not surprising because I am new to the finer aspects of woodworking. But I kind of took things for granted there. Whenever I get a log milled, I don't know how long it's been drying out, where it's been sitting. It turns out these things need a good long time to dry out, and I didn't realize that. So whenever I cut into that little rabbit bowl I was going to make, it's very, very, very damp. So I don't know what all I got to do. I can leave it out, but it says it could take up to 2 or 3 years to dry out the wood if you air dry it. If you guys have any ideas, feel free to let me know. There's definitely a concern of mine because I wanted to use it, and it looks like I won't be able to, so I'm going to change gears and try something else for a while. Right now I'm going to pick up my son at his pre-K and hopefully collect my thoughts and get a better idea together before I get back to the shop. Jackson, does Dad like to make good tool stuff in his shop? No? You want to go home and have pizza?
Yeah.
All right, so answer the question. Does Dad like tools? No, but you want the pizza, right?
Yeah.
As the day closes here, I'm taking this cedar trunk that I found. Actually, we had some trees that were actually over here on the far side, and I had to cut them down. And one of them was cedar. We had some scrap and ended up kind of doing a quick mill on those things with my chainsaw about a year ago. And now I'm cutting it up. And I guess I'm lucky because it's been about a year, because it looks like it's beautiful. It's the heart of the tree. It smells fantastic, and I'm gonna see what I can do with it. I was thinking about making like a little bowl out of it or a tray or something. But whatever it is, man, I really like this stuff. It's just some good smelling stuff. Give me your ideas in the comments, guys. What would you make with this thing? Well, last but not least for today, my wife stopped by just a thrift store, and they were doing half off on a lot of items, and this saw was 25 bucks. So I told her to pick it up because you never know what you're gonna get. So it's actually a 10-inch table saw, and mine's it's a battery powered 8 1/4. So I don't know what condition it's in. Gonna open it up. But I mean, just like the bandsaw over here, this bandsaw was 20 bucks. Old Craftsman didn't have a table. I just made a little table and took everything apart and soaked it and got all the rust off of it, and it's doing pretty good. And inside of this thing, it had this dado, which seems like this would be expensive. I don't know if this is a modern thing or not, but it's Magna Precision Dado, and it has these precision guide up here. There's all these different markings right here. So I'm kind of curious. I'm gonna look this thing up and see what it's all about. I don't see any other pieces to it. I know dados usually wide. They have little blades that go in between two other blades. Is how I remember it anyway. Well, that's pretty much it here, but this is a pretty cool saw, 15 amps, so it's about as much as this shop can handle, being run on drop cords and all. And a 10-inch saw, so bigger blade, and straighter cut, and just better saw, I guess. We'll see. We ride it high.